Okay, this could be the biggest scam, and a lot of people are falling for it. I fell for it as well. For the past 14 years, I've been driving petrol and diesel cars. And if you've noticed around you, there's more and more people jumping onto the EV train because obviously it seems that it's new, but also there's a lot of government benefits and what people think it's cheaper than petrol and diesel cars. That's the big scam. And you're saying,
yeah, of course, I knew that the EVs are more expensive.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual fuel to drive 100 miles. I'll explain that in a minute. But you see this especially with the business owners, especially in the UK, because there's a lot of benefits for EVs for the business owners. You can write off pretty much every single EV expense, and that's what I did as well, because the company can pay for all of the car expenses, and personally I would only have to pay the BIK or benefit in kind, which is pennies compared to what you would be paying for hybrid petrol diesel cars. So that's why people are moving to the EVs thinking it's cheaper, and this is when I discovered that it's a huge scam. But there is also a solution that I found, and I'm going to tell you the solution as well. So if you're planning on getting an EV because it's cheaper on fuel than petrol and diesel cars, then you might be shocked at the actual reality, because I was as well. And I'm going to break down this for you just before you're about to buy yourself an EV, because that might actually make you change your mind. But also for some people, you might actually absolutely going to jump on it because you realize for you, this is definitely cheaper. Let me go to the whiteboard because it's a lot more easier explaining this on a whiteboard than just spitting out some numbers. You have to see this on paper and some of these numbers. I'll make it very simple. How much does it actually cost to drive 100 miles? We'll look at the petrol cars average miles per consumption on the internet. What we can see is roughly around 37.5 miles per gallon. And once we put this through the equation, we're getting roughly around £16 and 22 pence to drive 100 miles on a petrol car. If you do exactly the same calculation on the diesel car, we have 42.5 miles per gallon. That's obviously a little bit conservative. We're getting 15.2. Now, hybrid cars have even bigger miles per gallon of fuel efficiency, or better fuel efficiency, which is 50 mpg. And if we calculate it through there again, £12 and 16 pence. There we go. So right now, you can see petrol cars, you're paying the most money to drive it, diesel cars second, and hybrid third. But now we get to the EV part, and this is where things really go very, very confusing. So firstly, kilowatt hour basically means 1000 watts, because kilo means 1000, for 1 hour. Then you get 1 kilowatt hour, and that's an electricity measurement, how you measure how much electricity we use. Then on EVs, there's something called AEC, what stands for average electricity consumption, which often is shown in kilowatts per mile, which means how many kilowatt hours do we need to use to travel 1 mile. And then we have kilowatt hour price. This is what absolutely shocked me. If you're looking at all the chargers, I've got this ZapMap app that shows us all these different chargers that are available all around me. I had to pay for that as well. And bear in mind, some of the chargers have a different pricing depending when you are charging. If you're charging in the evening or at night, it's going to be cheaper there than during the day. But the price per kilowatt hour, what we see roughly out there, we can see that there is 33 pence per kilowatt hour. That is one of the cheapest I have used on a Tesla charger on an evening when it was a lower price. And some of the more expensive ones go up to 87 pence per kilowatt hour. Here's the thing, you're not paying for the electricity, you're paying for the speed. And this is one of the biggest things that I've realized. Depending on the charger, sometimes even the location, it's not about the speed. You are paying for the convenience of your time, not for electricity, which makes this a little bit of an interesting calculation. As an average right now, we're going to take a measurement of 31.5 kilowatt hours for 100 miles. So this is how you do the calculation on the EV side. We're going to move back up here. the EV side, to get a price for 100 miles, we're going to look at the average electric consumption, which is 31.5 kilowatt hours for 100 miles. And we're going to times that per the average price of the kilowatt hour used. So we're taking roughly around the market middle. And then in a minute, I'm going to show you how much I have spent this month as well. Between 33 to 87, we're going to take roughly a measurement of 60 pence per kilowatt hour. The price for this BYD Seal for 100 miles is 18.9 pounds for 100 miles. This is more expensive than any of the above. That is an absolute scam and ripoff. They told you that EV is cheaper than any of these, yet that's not the truth. But there is a solution how you can get it significantly cheaper. Please stay with me. I'll show you this in a minute. But first, I want to show you how much I have spent in this month. So I'm week 3. I've done 760 miles on this. I've used all sorts of different public chargers. I add them together. I ask my accountant, where is the line, how much we've spent on the EV? And this is the final number. We've spent £134 and 72 pence for 760 miles, which equals out to £17.72 for 100 miles. I have had slightly cheaper than the average in there for my consumption of what I've paid for different electricity prices, but I am still more expensive than petrol, diesel, hybrid cars, and I've spent hours on actual chargers during this month. Now, you might be thinking, dude, I'm never gonna buy an EV because it just does not make sense. Please give me the solution. How much is this actually gonna cost, and does it actually make sense? Home charger. If you are running an EV in the UK and you wanna make it cheap, you're gonna have to have a home charger. Now, if you're a business owner, you wanna hear about the tax benefits in a minute, but I'm gonna show you first how much you pay if I was to charge this at home. Using the same measurement, 31.5 times 7 pence per kilowatt hour. Yes, you can get your home electricity provider switch to their tariff that offers you very, very cheap overnight EV charging, and then you can pay around 7 pence per kilowatt. But if you were to pay 7 pence, which is 0.07 pounds per kilowatt hour, the price for 100 miles would be £2.20. 10, 12, 15 times cheaper. That is the way to go forward. I've been ripped off because I don't have a home charger. This is going to be a future video because there's so many different chargers out there. How do you choose one? Subscribe if you haven't to that one yet. But there are also some benefits for business owners in the UK for having an EV. And that is one of the main reasons I went with an EV, because it equals out to you cheaper than this, and for this. In fact, if you're a business owner, you should only get an EV. Financially, only the EV makes sense. Let me explain. Now, very importantly, go check it with your accountant, with your tax advisors. But at the point of me making this video, there are some insane benefits for business owners. So if you are in the UK doing business, and I'm sure other countries have similar things, there's huge point for going with an EV rather than something else, because it just saves you money. Number one, all of the EV costs can be put on the business expenses if the EV is new. That means the lease, the buying price of it, the insurance, car tax, maintenance, anything to do with the EV, business expenses, including the charging of it. That is new, because usually previously, if you've been using the petrol or diesel cars as a company vehicle before, you know that there's something called business miles and personal miles. If you've got an EV, it's all one, the company pays for it, which is amazing. The cool thing is the company can also pay for the charger to be installed at your home. And that can be also business expense. But here's the thing, because it's a company vehicle that you are using for company and personal use, there's something called benefit in kind. for EVs that is massively lower than on hybrids, petrols, or diesel pricing. So roughly for a Tesla Model 3, something like that, you'll pay around 300 something pounds per year for benefit in kind in your personal tax, which is a lot lower and pennies compared to hybrids, diesels, and petrols. But here's the thing, if you can prove to your company and to the tax authorities that this, what you're paying in there, is for EV charging only, then you can claim back this as well. Pretty impressive. And that's why you see more and more EVs around on the streets. So if you like more information like this on the channel, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Don't get scammed. I did. Don't you get scammed. By the way, if you're wondering, how am I getting access to all these different cars? Because at the point of me making this video, I don't have any connection with any car manufacturers out there. The answer is car subscription called Flexed. And I found this company when I was looking for a new car, and I wasn't exactly sure which car I wanted to try. And that subscription idea, that actually sold me. Well, how does it work? So you go to the website, pick a car, and then after 28 days, you can change the car. Change to a different car. You can change the car after every 28 days. Ever wanted to have multiple cars and not actually commit to a car, but just try lots of different cars? Well, this is it. Pay a fee depending on which car you choose. Enjoy a new car. This car was literally brand new when I got this one. Road tax, manufacturer's warranty, and breakdown cover with roadside assistance already included in the price. Go pick up the car or get it delivered and cancel anytime you want after 28 days. So if you want to try different cars or you're not sure which car to buy and you'd like to just have a little go first, go check out these guys in the video description below or the QR code. In fact, I actually reached out to them and asked if you can get a discount code so you can use the code TN50 to get 50% off your sign-up fees. Send an email to the one what you're seeing on the screen right now, or check it out in the video description below. I'll leave the link in there and on the pinned comments if you want to do that. I'm loving it. So if you want a different car in the winter and a different car in the summer, it's doable for the first time ever.